This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
Tuesday, the 21st of January 2025. HMP Wandsworth, B-Wing. Besides the screws checking on my padmate, I woke up to them being told that they're moving to B-Wing. C-Wing was my cellmate's choice and recommendation, but it was apparently full up. I was surprised that I wasn't told by the screw that I'd be moving as well. Moving one at a time isn't exactly efficient. It was disappointing and annoying. Me and my cellmate get along. They've been helpful with prayer. It's annoying to think that somebody else could come in this E-Wing pad with me. Then I could move and get to know yet another person on a new wing. It makes no sense. With a few words of encouragement and support both ways, I miss you, bro. They packed as I mentally prepared to be social to a new person who would be sharing the cell with, while also preparing myself for confrontation if they were a thief or an Islamophobe. My cellmate still shared the last of his vape with me. Eventually the screw came for them and I said, why aren't I going with them? And he was like, well, you're not ready. If you pack, I'll come back in 10 minutes and move you both. It was a relief. Sticking together and not having potentially two more prisoners to get to know, not knowing what they're like. With 3 bags, I carried them out to the new wing, B-Wing, which is actually old Victorian, taller, with 4 floors and colder than the last wing. Literally like a fridge, as if it had no walls or ceilings. Our pad, it stunk. Like when we first come into it, it was obviously disorientated. Like a new building, new cell, was at a loss to where I was, but I was certain of the smell. It stunk so bad. It still does. It smells of just exceedingly foul, stale, old, myriad of smells. Very dirty too. I think the best description of the smell is bins, like old, full up bins or trash, as Americans would say. Yeah, it smelled bad, as well as like a strong smell of smoke as well, like tobacco smoke. It's very dirty all over the walls. You can actually see thick smoke throughout all around the top of the cell, where the smoke has accumulated like generations of a smoker's house. The cell, however, is brand new. The phone works and there's no TV. We were very discontent for some time until a new telly arrived, because we were sure that the air heel wouldn't fit in the socket. Oh yes, so we were convinced that the reason we don't have a TV was because there's no plug socket to put it in. The plug socket is absolutely discombobulated, smashed up, and we just looked at it like there's no way we can even plug an aerial in. So we were thinking there was a conspiracy against us, saying they know we haven't got a TV, and they know that we can't have one, so that's why we don't have one. Technically, the telly doesn't fit in the socket, but we can still get fuzzy television. Just like when I was a kid in the 90s, the aerial could just about touch some of the metal within the wall to get fuzzy TV. We halted cleaning until we knew that we could watch TV. So we made some adjustments and then we sort of fixed the signal. Me padmate done most of the cleaning. They were very unhappy with the state of the walls and the smell, like me, but they were more aggressive at the grime. The whole pad included the walls, bed, and behind the furniture got scrubbed and doused over with water. Screws complained because of a pool of water outside our cell, and we complained for more cleaning materials. When the water poured down the walls with the black residue in it, a strong smell of dry, old tobacco filled the pad and still does. At the time of recording, possibly a month later or just over that, it still smells like that. All of our clothes, even after they're washed, will smell of this old tobacco smell, which I've since learned that it probably isn't tobacco, but the cellmate before us was probably an excessive tea bag smoker. Yes, tea bags. It smells like smoke has accumulated for years. The ceiling is dark from it, besides very clear marks. Our hands have moved cloths through the crap. Maybe over 500 litres of water later, over an hour of scooping the water up with the dustpan shovel into the toilet. We've finished it now. It's freezing. We had social, and when stepping out of my pad, I almost slipped on what was left of the excess water, even after my padmate was told to mop it up by the screw. I was looking forward to a shower on the wing. Unfortunately, they were all cold, ice cold. I know better than to get a cold shower. It's a certain cold for me for a few weeks, guaranteed, no question about it. My cellmate, with the same frame as me, also declined to have a cold shower for fear of being sick. Hopefully next time it's warm. If it's never warm, then I guess that we'll just have to have our human rights violated. I also spent around £70 in the canteen. I got things like peanuts, noodles, tuna, mayo, twirls, whispers, some crisps, I think, and air freshener, fabric spray to tackle the stench, and when we're taking a number 2. I also got coffee. Our food came hours later from E-Wing in a small box. It's freezing. The radiator we have hasn't been on since we got here. I'd 100% be sneezing and sick by now if I did get a shower. We prayed. I was close to my padmate, which is good, but there's no choice because the bed was on the other side. Was on my other side. Yes, it was like barely in the room to pray. I have to dodge it to pray half below it on my prayer mat. Yeah, so literally gotta like bow down and then go under the bed and then back out. It's awkward. We're drinking lots of tea to stay warm. If a kettle was not new, I don't even want to think about it, and it was like the last one, I'd probably be depressed. Fortunately, I spoke to a friend yesterday who's willing to produce my new podcast, Political Prisoner Podcast, and we're set to record the first episode Friday. I still need to write an introduction episode /script and finish my petition to make Elbit Systems UK a terrorist organisation to heighten the contradiction. I'll try to work on them tomorrow. I think I have just about enough pieces of paper. One pen dies on me as I was writing this. We fixed, you could say, the TV signal, so it's much better by being intuitive and resourceful. We're feeling more settled as I introduce Horlicks to my cellmate. They like it. And now we're listening to National Prison Radio.
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner.
What was a shortlisted for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon at patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month or humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line as senders and inbox. If you can't support me, family, in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters, drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love and solidarity.